Right, ICT fanboys are gonna be mad over this one.
I do not care. I double dare you. Like, this is open challenge from me. Price won't go towards your supply if that supply doesn't have liquidity or imbalance.
So today we are joined by Jason Hakeem, who is actually my head trading coach inside the 1% Club. And you're gonna learn why is he so qualified to actually teach the members inside the 1% Club and why so many of our members have gotten funded and gotten incredible results because of this beautiful man that you see right here. So welcome Jason Hakeem. How are you today?
Hello, Brad. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So okay, so yesterday you actually told me that at one point of time you're managing like $600,000 in private investor capital. How is like managing that large amount of money?
It didn't start from there, if I'm being honest, right? It all started from little. So me building, first, like I was building my own capital. Starting from only, 3 figures, 4 figures. But then little by little, the more, obviously, it's all about psychology when it comes to numbers, right? Because a lot of people, they think that, yeah, I'm just gonna jump in, make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I wish that's how human psychology works, but that's not how it works, right? Our skill set when it comes to technicals, it could be crazy good. But when it comes to psychology, like we could actually shiver when we see those kind of numbers, because it happened to me as well. Like at some point, I just jumped right away and bought a 100K account. My technicals were ready, but my mindset, like the entire psychology wasn't. What happened is that I blew the account without passing not even one trade. I didn't take like one good trade. Nope. Why? Because I kept looking at my P&L. I'm like, bro, if I'm losing $1,000. That's a lot. But like in reality, it's just 1% of the account, right? When I make money, I'm like, bro, I just made 1,500. But like, bro, I risked 1,000 to make 1,500. That's not something crazy, So that's why like it's more like human psychology. So that's why when it came to private investors, I didn't start right away and jumped in and like, get the 600K. It all started from zero. Okay, it started from 10K. Someone offered 10K. I'm like, okay, give it a try. Played the game of percentage right. Always cover the P&L. I don't look at how much money I'm making, how much money I'm losing, nothing, right? Pure technicals. Little by little, gained it to 25K, then 50. Then started prop firms as well, 50K. And then in prop firms, I had 2 accounts, 50K, 50K. So it was 100K in capital. Then I started gaining more, experience when it comes to psychology. So then when it came to private investors, some then actually fronted 100K right away. But then there also I started to shiver a little bit because the difference is that 100K was live account and the 100K unfunded, I mean, it's demo.
It's different. Funder is like technically demo account, but live account is actually $100,000 in cash.
Yep,
Just
it is
crazy.
in cash. So I'm like, bro, if I lose a little bit, that's someone else's money, That also psychology there played. I'm like, okay, I've been doing it for a while now, but 100K is a lot. Then I was like, okay, let me start from risking 0.5%, whatever I'm comfortable with. So the way I trade is I put my mental health first. I put my psychology first. A lot of people, they put profits first, right? For me, I put mental health and psychology first. So I started risking 0.5%, which I was comfortable with, $500 per trade. Then started seeing result consistency, moved to 1%. 1% being the max risk, 0.8, 0.5% being the half risk. So results were really good. Okay, 2 months of consistency. And the good thing about like, a lot of people, they ask, what's the difference between me working with prop firm and me working with private investors? With private investors, obviously, like we have a deal from before and like we have some type of agreement, a contract, where if I was to have a good trade and I wanted to have withdrawal, I could just have it right away, right? That's a very big thing when it comes to payouts. Because with prop firms, it's not possible. At some point, it used to be possible. I'm not gonna tell which prop firm, but yeah, with some prop firm, it used to be possible. But now they don't do that anymore. So yeah, that's the biggest advantage point for me there. So the more consistency I got, the more the guy fronted the money. It was like, okay, 100K. I see that, averaging like 8% a month. There was a month as well. Like, it was July, I believe. this year, July, it was the best trading month ever.
How much do you make that month? 1 month.
The thing is, I don't know if it's realistic, 22.8%.
22.8% in 1 month.
22.8%.
And that's like
I was risking 0.8 and 0.5%.
0.5%. I made
Yes.
22.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was smooth.
Smooth? Like
So smooth.
a lot of winning trades and stuff.
My trading system says that minimum 1:3 risk to reward, right? Minimum, that's bare minimum. So minimum 1:3, if I can get good win rate, even with 50% win rate, I can be profitable. But the thing is, that month was so nice. My journal had 79% win rate.
Damn, 79%
So
rate.
it was
It's a beautiful month.
Yeah,
It's a
very nice.
beautiful one.
But again, the problem with today's world is that they think that 1 month of 79% win rate, I'm gonna achieve this for the entire year. I made it very clear, 79% in 1 month. I made 22.8%, 22.5% with commissions and all that, 22.3. So the thing is, I made it very clear to myself, not every single month is going to be like this, right? 22 point, sure, it's crazy number. At that time, $22,300, right? For someone like me, right, who came out of nothing, and seeing that kind of number in a month, for some people it might be nothing, okay, which I respect that. But for me, I'm being very transparent here. 22.3 in a month is a good amount of money. That's a lot. So thinking about it, yeah, it was just a game of psychology. Okay, so then from there, like the guy fronted more and more. At some point, he reached 600K. He was like, I'm gonna front you 600K because I see the consistent results. And obviously, it's a game of percentage, right? At the end of the day, so 5% of 600K is already good enough. That is really good number. So I did it. I traded on 600K, okay, for like a month. But again, it was taking a hit on my psychology, right? So what I did was I did the best. No, I didn't lose anything from it. I made profit, okay? But then I was like, look, mentally, I am not there yet. I'm not that stable with 600K. Being very, very honest, I'm not, what do you call it? Like a stone-faced God? No, I do have emotion, right? Again, human, we have emotions. And I'm very, very clear. I made it very clear. 600K, I believe is too much. Let's tone it down a little bit. Bring it back to 300K, 400K. I'm fine with that. So yeah, that's how basically the current situation is.
Yeah, man. Perfect, bro. Like, you literally came from nothing, and at one point of time, you got managed 600K. But yeah, it's difficult, man, when you're operating at that level. Then imagine like those, I don't know, hedge fund managers managing billions of dollars in assets. Yeah, the level is crazy. Yeah, but yeah, man, you're right. 22.3K in a month, you can live a very good life here in Bali. You mentioned to me that you risk 0.5% to 0.8%, right? That's what we actually recommend the members inside the 1% club. But you know, the conventional rule is that you should risk 1%, right?
1 to 2%.
1 to 2%. But what we've done is that we have done the math. We have literally have like the numbers in place, the statistics. And if you risk 1% per trade, the probability of you actually blowing the account is higher compared to risking 0.5%, right? 0.5%, you can lose what, 200 trades in a row.
Exactly.
1%, 100 trades in a row. So that is why we actually recommend our students to actually risk 0.5% per trade. And with that, they can also have like a low win rate and have a high R. Then that is how they can get consistent results as well, right? So what are your thoughts on that? Like having like a high R, but like a low win rate, because having a high win rate is not realistic or sustainable, like what you mentioned just now.
Okay, this one, we might want to cut this, but my intrusive thoughts is getting me. Donvo.
Don't what?
Donvo.
Oh, no, you can just say it, bro. You can just say it.
I mean, look, okay, all I can say is high win rate and very less risk to reward. I get it. When we cannot, the thing is we cannot compare. The way I see why we cannot compare, it's subjective. Subjective to each individual, right? Because the kind of person I am could be very different to others, right? When I said this, that trading actually taught me life, it taught me who I am. I'm not even joking. Why? Because at first, a lot of people, they say, should I scalp or should I swing or should I intraday? I'm like, it's totally up to you though. Like it depends what kind of person you are, right? For me, I'm someone who has like an attention span of 1 second, right? I need to have something going on. Doesn't mean that I scalp, so it means that I take 15, 20 trades a day. No, that's not possible. It's just impossible. I'm so picky, even the members know.
Yeah. 2 weeks no trade.
Yeah, 2 weeks no trade. They're like, 2 weeks no trade. How is this guy not taking this trade? It looks very nice. I'm like, I know, I get it. It looks very nice. I have seen this playing out hundreds of times. I know the probability of it. Okay, it has some kind of hiccup. I'm not gonna take it. Personally, I'm not gonna take it. You guys wanna take it? For sure, take it. Right? So I scalp mainly. Okay, a lot of people, they go with whatever, if I'm being honest, right? Some people, they think that swing traders make more money than scalpers. Not necessarily. It's a game of risk to reward, right? Doesn't really mean that, okay, you caught 100 pips, but like your stop loss was like 50 pips. That's 1:2. That's like equivalent to me catching 10 pips with 5 pips of stop loss, right? At the end of the day, the same result. So when it comes to risking 0.5 to 0.8% for our 1% club members, I do believe it is that's what the reason why we recommend is, obviously for new traders, they need to build their psychology first, right? The risk tolerance. Not a lot of people are okay with risking 1 to 2% at some point, but then they force to risk 1 to 2% because that's what they've been taught in the industry. Right? A lot of people, they say 1 to 2%, 1 to 2%. So they risk 1 to 2%. But in my opinion, you gotta look at your risk tolerance. Ask yourself, are you okay with risking 1% or are you okay with risking 0.5%? Right? So main thing at the end of the day, it comes to it, calculated risk, taking calculated risk, right? A lot of people, they're like, yeah, bro, I use one lot. What do you mean one lot? Like, is it fixed lot? Yeah, fixed lot. Who did you learn it from? Donvo. I'm like, I don't know, man, about the fixed lot size. No matter how the system is, I just couldn't make it work. I did the math and all. Fixed lots, I don't think, like, because like, in some trade, let's say, you trade on 100K capital, then you use a fixed lot. In some trade, you'll be risking 6K. In some trade, you'll be risking 1K. In some trade, it will be 0.5%, which is $500. It all depends on the stop loss, right? So if the risk is not consistent, how the profits are going to be consistent?
Exactly.
Right?
That's what
We try to look for that consistent profit, but then we don't even take consistent calculated risk. So that's why like fixed lot size just doesn't make sense at all to me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like what Jason said, man, like consistent actions leads to consistent results. I mean, if you're inconsistent with the risk that you are taking on each trade, obviously you're not going to get consistent results, right? It's really not rocket science. I agree with you, man. There's just so much garbage advice in the trading industry, right? Right now we have people turning $100 to $1 million, and then we got people, I don't know, like just having like these brokers that they're affiliated to, but then it's actually like a demo account, but they show the audience and pretend it's like a live account, right? Which is crazy. There's just so much shit in the trading industry right now. And what we practice inside the 1% Club, or rather in the trading industry, is transparency and honesty. Yeah, and that is why I remember, like, since you started live trading, you were so transparent with the audience that you were like, okay, here's my track record. Just take a look at it and believe me, because I have walked the talk. While all these trading gurus, they have absolutely no clue what they are talking about and they're just flexing their rented cars. I've actually traded myself. I'm really proud to actually have like someone just like yourself who actually have a verified track record that's actually consistently profitable and not just like a talker. And one thing I really like about you is how you're able to stay private, right? I mean, you have a nice motorbike, you are living a nice life in Indonesia. Yeah, but yeah, man, like private circle, and it's just nice. It's a nice private life.
It is, honestly, because the way I've seen myself is that I am more locked in when I am private, right? The more I share to others, this is the main issue, right? A lot of people, they start new thing. Let's say someone, starts trading, and then they're like, they make first profit everywhere they share it. Yeah, I made this much, that much. I don't think that is okay, because it will take a hit on your mental health as well. How? By you thinking that if I don't take a win today, how am I going to show to others? Right? Exactly. For me, like, I'm working in silence. I keep my privacy just because I don't want to care about others, so that others won't think anything of me, basically, like that, right? Again, same thing. It goes back to whatever my uni was. Okay? All of my uni group mates, they probably think that I'm nowhere right now. Just a simple dropout. Yeah. A dropout who's a failure doing nothing. Right? Am I okay with that? I'm fine with that. I mean, your opinion, your opinion. My opinion, right? Everybody has different perspective. Do I care about it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like someone outside, they could accuse me of like, I'm making wrong money, right? I'm fine. If you think so, you think so. I mean, it is what it is. From my side, I know that I've did my work. 4 years of crazy work, like nonstop, I know what I went through. So do I care about any other things? Nah. A lot of people, they say, even my mom also advised me, I think you need to post more on your social media. But I'm like, I don't think that's me, Like, I'm not okay with that. I'm at least not yet okay, right? I've never shown, like on social media, once or twice, I showed my PNL, once or twice. But after that, it was never. I never showed my charts, never showed. I mean, anybody who goes to like my Insta profile, they don't even see that this guy is a trader, They'll only see that in a bio, it will be written like head coach for the 1% club, a full-time trader. That's it. No proof of anything, right? Anybody could put their bio as that and be like sitting at home and just like lay down in bed, not do anything, right? But I'm quite the opposite. I just don't post anything, but yeah, I work my ass off for sure, like consistently. Do I still have the same drive as the first day when I was started trading? For sure, it is still the same. I still go crazy over charts. No, not because it gives me butterflies. No, it doesn't give me butterflies. It's just, trading is something that taught me life. It taught me everything, right? Because like when I started trading, I didn't know what life was basically. I was just a 20 years old with no idea, right? No typical 20 years old, right? Lost in life. Don't know what to do. Depressed as well. Very depressed. Because like dealing with uni, especially like medicine, it's tough. It's really tough. But yeah, went through it. Now, here we are.
Here we are. No, and the crazy thing is, you told me yesterday, right? The same uni guys that were making fun of you, right now, what are they doing? Messaging you for trading tips, asking you for valuable trading tips. That's when I realized like, people want to see you win, but they don't want to see you do better than them.
Yeah, for sure. That is for sure. For sure, like, yeah, they will respect you when they see you winning. Some people, they do respect you, but then they don't respect the hustle, right? The time when you're putting in, most of the people, they will start judging you, right? So obviously, my biggest advice for those who just started trading, or it could be anything, right? Any skill set, focus on the skill set and just don't share it to anyone, right? Because if you don't want any criticism from anyone, just do not share it. Keep it to yourself and just do you.
I love the fact that you mentioned work in silence, because that's something that I believe in myself, is always to work in silence and let your success make the noise, right? I remember when I was starting to trade, for 6 months, I literally disappeared from the world, right? Go monk mode, like put my phone on airplane mode and just focus on starting the trading courses just like yourself. Yeah, and yeah, man, like the thing is, people see the trophy, but they don't see the work that go into getting that trophy, right? Yeah, but I always say this, like, if you're jealous of what I have, you better be jealous of how I got it. But the thing is, people are not. People will never be jealous of how you got it because they won't do the work, right? If they do the work, right, you know exactly what to do. You just don't want to do it. You just don't feel like doing it. And that is why you don't succeed, right? So, yeah, like, I love that work ethic about you. That's something that I respect a lot. And just to really be clear, right? You mentioned about transparency and authenticity. Honestly, right now, what are your thoughts on the trading industry?
Being very honest. Being very honest and
Cutthroat,
very
brutal.
brief. Distractions after distractions. Everywhere distractions, right? Because this is very honest again. We teach a lot of people, right? A lot of students. When I ask them what matters, like I ask them, like, what do you think today's bias is? Let's say, show me your analysis. They will start to have some kind of hiccups. But then when I say, have you seen what happened to that guy on social media? Have you seen what happened to, let's say, Donvo? Oh yeah, detail A to Z. They know about everything. I'm like, bro, are you getting paid from trading, or are you getting paid for scrolling social media? You see what I mean? So distractions after distractions. Again, this is my own rule that I've implemented, right? Even in my technical analysis as well. And I live by it. I put two categories, one being objective, one being subjective. Anything that's subjective is just distraction, right? Life is life. I get it. Like, there's ups and downs in everything, right? But if I see it being subjective, either I will cut it off or I will just have an attention span of 1 second for it and then move on towards what's the actual objective. At the end of the day, what matters is just the objective, your true objective, what you're looking for, right? So whatever is subjective, I mean, it is what it is. We don't really touch it a lot.
So for me personally, I believe that there is subjective reality, which is how you perceive the markets, and then there's the objective reality, which is the market for what it actually is, right? So for example, you might be bullish on Euro USD, and in that case, your subjective reality is thinking that, okay, Euro USD is going to go up, right? You're going to impose your bias onto the market. But then when you look at the charts, like from a logical standpoint, the objective reality is that market is actually on a downtrend, right? In that case, if you want to enter for a buy, it's like trying to catch a falling knife, right? So that is something that we preach. A lot of people say that the trend is your friend, right? Do you agree with that?
No. You know why? So, for me, I don't really follow the trend, right? The reason is this, because I scalp, right? Again, there are three types of price legs in the market, right? We have expansion leg when market is expanding. We have when market is making a pullback, or we can call it like pullback leg, right? The third one is manipulation leg. So basically, we could be trading in an expansion leg or in a pullback. As long as I know if I'm trading the pullback or I'm trading the expansion, I'm fine. Market could be very, very bullish, but again, regardless, I scalp. So I could be bullish for my swing bias, but then my London session, first hour of London session bias, I could be bearish for it. Why? It could be a lot of factors. Maybe external liquidity getting taken. Maybe I think that the 1 hour just needs to create a very long, steep bottom wick, or it could be anything, right? So my bias could be, for swing bias, it will be very bullish. But am I a swing trader? No. So my short-term bias will be, if it's bearish, I will definitely take sells.
Exactly, right? Like people just don't understand that, right? So, okay, going back to the mindset, right? So technical analysis is one thing, but you also mentioned that mindset is perhaps the most difficult part of trading, which I agree. And a lot of people like to talk about trading psychology, but how I see it is your belief, or rather your thoughts, creates your belief create your actions, and your actions dictate your reality, right? So speak more about this, about having the right paradigm to become a professional trader, right? What is it actually like? What does the right paradigm actually looks like?
One short answer, belief, right? A lot of students, let's say they ask, like, what is the strategy that you trade? What is it called? I'm like, it's not a strategy, it's a belief at this point, right? When you see one thing happening again and again for hundreds, thousands of times, it becomes a belief, right? Meaning that, how do we know that? Let's say, for example, right now it's raining, beautiful rain, right? How do we know that it's gonna rain? Because we know it's cloudy, and we know when it's cloudy, it's about to rain. It's a belief, right? Why? Because it happens a lot of the time. We've seen it happening for like thousands of times. So the same thing, it's a belief. When it comes to strategy, a lot of people, the reason is why people actually have hard time to like actually consistently make money from trading is because they hop on from one strategy to another strategy very quick. They're like, oh, I tried this for 1 month and I don't see results. Yeah, I'm moving on to another. I don't think 1 month is physically enough, Like 1 month, what did you do? You didn't sleep. You were in front of your PC back testing for an entire month. That's not possible, right? So belief is the hardest part to actually achieve, in my opinion, right? Because belief also, like, it's a factor of perspective as well, like how you see things, right? So belief, in my opinion, is the main thing. And to achieve that belief, you need to see that thing happening hundreds, if not thousands of times. How do you do that? Forward testing, back testing, taking live trades. So the same thing again, like I haven't been trading for 2 weeks, right? Before that 2 weeks, I took 3 trades, 2 losses on 1 break even. Did I change my plan? Never. Didn't even come close towards it. I'm like, even I took 2 losses. All right, fine. Those were the same trades that I took when I was winning. So technically, the next time it happens, the same trade happens that I took loss from, I will still take it no matter what. So why? It's a belief. By now, it's a belief. It's 100% belief. It's not a strategy. It's a belief at this point.
That's such a good point, right? Like what you mentioned, most traders, they hop from one strategy to another strategy. One day they could be trading price action. Next day, he could be trading ICT concepts and then SMC concepts. Yeah, man, like if you do that, right, you will always have a very shallow understanding of the concepts, the strategy that you are using, right? And the thing is, like what you said, if you're trying out for just 1 month, how the hell are you gonna know whether it works or not, right? Just because you have won like the past 8 trades does not mean that the strategy is profitable. Same thing. Just because you lost the past 8 trades doesn't mean it sucks. Right? So like what you said, data is king. We need to build that data over the span of 100 trades, 1,000 trades to prove that your trading strategy actually works. What we have inside this 1% Club is a very mechanical trading system, right? For our traders to execute without emotion, without guesswork. It's literally a statistically proven system. Right? We have backtested it over the span of 100 trades or even 1,000 trades among all members. And it literally has been proven to be profitable. That is why we use it inside the 1% Club. And that particular system has gotten a lot of our students, the results that they want. Right? And speaking of our students, Manu, right? Alia, right? Alia, who made about 25K after joining us, and then Mustafa, who recently went from $200 to $200,000 in funding. And the fun fact is, these 2 students, they actually use your strategy, right? They learn from you inside the 1% Club itself, right? So tell me, how does it feel seeing our students getting such incredible results because of your own coaching?
To make it very short, right? It's heart touching. You know why? Never thought, like I would be like somewhere close to where I am right now. Never thought. Sure, it was there, but I was like in a span of 10 years. That's what I said, right? But then in a span of 3 to 4 years to be where I am right now and to be like people actually taking, making actual results from whatever I teach, it's actually crazy. Now, I'm actually like speechless right now. It's actually crazy.
I don't think like people actually realize this, but the coaches inside the 1% Club, we love our students.
For sure.
Yeah, like we actually don't just treat them as like a wallet. We actually treat them as people who we want to help and actually get them the results that we have gotten for ourselves. And I believe that's the main thing that separates us from most trading community or courses out there, is because of our love for our students. That is why we are willing to work so hard for them, right? Sometimes our coaching call, even though it's supposed to be 1 hour, you extend it. You will extend it until 2 hours, right? You literally take out valuable time from your day to help these members, and that's something that I really love to see. And I believe the members really appreciate it, right? I've just heard so much positive feedback about not just the 1% Club, but also you as a coach, right? Willing to take out your free time to coach them and help them analyze the charts, give them opinions on their trade setups and ideas, and helping them improve. Yeah, I believe it's only like a matter of time until we got a bunch of students becoming 7-figure traders, right? For sure.
It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. Okay, Jason, so right now you're obviously a very successful 6-figure trader right now, managing private investor capital. But like I said earlier, people see the trophy, but they don't see the work that go into it, right? So just tell me, how do you get started? Because that's a crazy story. You were actually watching my videos like 3 years ago or something, right?
Yeah. So look, when I started, right, there is something called rock bottom. I was rock bottom. Some people, they take advantage of it, and some people, they think that I'm rock bottom already. Yeah, whatever. Whatever I do, it doesn't matter. But that's not the case though, right? If you're rock bottom, doesn't mean that you cannot climb your way up. You cannot, swim your way up. That's not. So basically what I did, I was rock bottom. Someone who was 20 years old at university studying whatever, something that I despise completely. Because I am quite the opposite. I was studying medicine, but I actually despise medicine. I get disgusted from seeing blood, right? Hospitals, they're not for me. I get sick, I don't take medicine. Like I'm not there, you know? Like I'm just different kind of person. So definitely whatever my field was, it didn't suit me. Okay? And let's be honest, right? When it comes to medicine, like you basically have to study for a lot. Like, I don't know, like until when I'm 35, 38, then only I'll become like an actual doctor. But then I looked behind me. I'm like, I have a mother to take care of. I have siblings to take care of. My youngest sibling, like the difference between my age and his age, in the middle, we have like 19 years of gap, you know, 18 years of gap. 18, 19 years of gap, which is crazy, right? That's like my own son, right? That's not like my brother at this point. So I'm like, how am I supposed to take care of him? Like one day my siblings will come to me and they're like, yo, Jason, I'm trying to get this one thing. It costs this much. But I'm like, I check my wallet. Can I afford it or not? And then I say that I cannot afford it. That's such a shame, you know? That my siblings are gonna think that I have only one elder brother, and that also like he cannot do anything basically. So all of these thoughts, they started like coming to me. I'm like, now what do I do? And then there's this one guy who was like, yo, Jason, have you heard something like called Forex trading? And from there, everything was history.
Bro, that's how I started as well. My friend was like, have you heard of Forex trading? You can make money online by clicking a few buttons.
And then I was like, yeah, but how it works, I don't know. He was like, nah, it's fine. Just join using my link, this, blah, blah, blah. You will make money. I'll send you signals. Obviously, he was doing it out of commission, right? He will get commission. So I was like, okay, let me just do it. I did it, didn't make any money from it. Nothing. First month, nothing. Lost all of the money. Then I was like, okay, there's no way like people can get rich this easy, right? I'm like, there is more onto it. So I started learning. It was, I still remember this, it was summer vacations. I had vacation, I took a break from studying, from everything. I started putting full-time studying onto Forex. And in that case, like my dad, he is very protective, okay? He basically wants me to obviously, complete the university, be doctor, like typical Asian parents, right? Which I totally, totally respect that. That's his decision, his opinion. I totally respect that. But then, again, he wasn't happy. Let's say that he wasn't happy that I started this, because obviously it's a risky business. It is a risky business. But then at the end of the day, if we don't take risk, then what's the point of living, right? We're not going to see any progress, nothing. So, yeah, I took a risk. I studied it full time. I put a mindset that first year of trading, I'm not going to be making any money, nothing, right? I was like, first year, I'm only learning. Whatever I pay to the market, that's my fees that I pay to the market. So that's why I wasn't too reckless with my risk. I would deposit every single day $10 and try to survive the market. That's how I did it. So then, obviously, I didn't have money. I was a full-time student. I was desperate. I sold my laptop, I sold my phone, I sold basically everything. All I kept was one PC, that's it. A computer that I sit there 24/7 and learn. There was this one time as well, the situation got so bad that to the point where 3 days, like actually 3 days, me being in front of PC, consuming nothing but caffeine. No food, nothing, caffeine. And then my attention span, so basically I have ADHD, right? My attention span, if I like that thing, my attention span is, I'm gonna be hyper-focused. So what I do is I used to have cats as well. I would put a lot of food for them so it won't run out, because I will forget about it for the next 3 days because I'll be in front of PC. That's how it all started. And then after 6 months, basically 1 semester of university, of me like not going, basically I put it on pause, right? Then I started seeing results. How did I start seeing results? I joined your Discord group, right? It was crazy. It's all started from there.
Trading Tribe Discord server. Yeah.
Trading Tribe Discord server. So I joined that server. There was a live session going on. Everybody was shy though. Everybody was shy. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let me give it a try.
Wait, this was 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah, 3 years ago. So I was like, you know what? Let me step in a little bit. Let me give it a try. And then I talked a little bit, and then the moderator Sukesh, he said, can you share your screen? I was like, okay, sure. I shared my screen. Then I explained what I look for, even though like it was basic concept. Support resistance, supply and demand. So, but they liked it. They liked it. I started getting DMs like, how did you learn this? Can you teach me this? I'm like, okay, yeah, attend tomorrow's session. And then consistently for the next like 2-3 months, I kept doing sessions almost every single day. Whatever I learn, I teach it there as well. Because I believe in something in this that you learn better when you teach, right? So I started teaching there every single day, taking live trades as well. And I would journal all of the live trades that I take and what went wrong, what went right, and all that. So 3 months consistently doing that. But then what made me stop was that I couldn't balance between me teaching, me learning, me trading, and balance it out with the toxicity, right? Because the industry is very toxic. It was becoming very toxic, right? The calls, obviously, when you have like hundreds of people in a call, some people, they get, very toxic, right? So I basically stopped for a bit, but I was still teaching people. So yeah, long story short, 1 year in, I've seen profits, not crazy ones. I've seen profits, but then I got into something called ICT concept.
ICT concepts, interesting.
You guys might think that when I learned the ICT concept, everything went, like it was just rainbows and sunshines. No, quite the opposite. When I look at the knowledge, because I journal every single thing, like every single month I record myself and I tell myself what I've learned, what I haven't learned. So I'm going back to my journal, but like the amount of stuff that I'm learning in terms of knowledge, I'm improving by a lot. But then when it comes to paper, I'm losing more money. I'm making no money at all. I'm like, what's the issue here? And then the more I got into it, the more I studied, the more I got analysis paralysis. I didn't know where to start from, where to end, what to look for at what time. Because that's why right now, what I promote when I teach is that I teach precision. I don't just teach price, I teach time as well. I'm like, if I'm expecting this trade, I'm expecting it to happen at this time, right? So that's what happened before. Like, I didn't know where to start when I started ICT. So there was zero progress. If not, everything went downhill to the point where I was thinking, why don't I just go back with support and resistance, supply and demand? But then I went back to it and that also wasn't working because I was like, yeah, there's more into it, obviously. So then I took a break, completely break, 6 months, almost 6 months. I wrote my own book, okay? My own book where obviously I started, making 2 columns, one being objective, one subjective. Back tested a lot. Again, if there was like a time span, how much time I've put on a trading, like back testing software, back testing website, which is called FX Replay, how much I've put into it, 100% minimum 50 days, 50 days of time that I put on that FX Replay. Then I came to a conclusion where it's just a matter of objective and subjective. What's subjective and what's objective? Now, when it comes to objective, very simple, 2 to 3 things. Liquidity imbalance, efficiency, inefficiency, basically that, right? Subjective, anything else than that. So again, a lot of people would argue with me who's trading using other concepts, right? That no, price chases this, price goes from supply to demand, from demand to supply. I get it, totally fine. But I double dare you. Like, this is open challenge from me, right? Price won't go towards your supply if that supply doesn't have liquidity or imbalance. It will not go there. You trade fib levels, you think that, okay, golden fib level is the golden level. I totally respect that. That's your opinion. But the market won't tap that golden fib level if there was no liquidity, no imbalance on it. I double dare you to actually check that. Now, it can be anything. You trade only using order blocks, which is not possible. Only order blocks, right? That is not possible at all. So yeah, that's now the whole trading thing I started was crazy. But again, right now wherever I am, obviously whatever the time I've put in, the effort, it's actually paying off like 100 times. I believe in very short amount of time. Very short amount of time. Because a lot of people, they think that I'm gonna start trading And then first year, I'm going to make like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
It's not going to work like that. It's not going to work. This is harsh truth, right? You got to go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Focus on the right things, right? That's what I preach in the 1% Club. I'm like, for you guys are already in a safe hand. Right now, all you got to do is just give it time. Show up. Just show up, right? A lot of people, they think that, oh, I bought this course, now I should be profitable. Not necessarily. Why? It's an example of me. I'm like, you know what? I'm starting gym tomorrow, or I started gym. I paid for a personal trainer, but then I go sit at home and eat junk food and expecting to get 6 packs. How does that make sense? Like, doesn't make sense, right? I still gotta show up, right? So for everybody in the 1% Club, what I tell them is it's a matter of time. Just show up. Every single coaching calls, the thing is, I do not, like, not just me, every single coaches, we do not ignore any questions from anyone, right? All of the questions, like, we don't even end the call until all of the questions get answered, right? To the point where some calls, it goes for 2 hours. Why? Because a lot of people, a lot of questions, and I have to answer all of them, right? So yeah, that's basically that. I was telling my story, but it ended up there, but yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, very interesting. That's a crazy story, right? ICT fanboys are gonna be mad over this one.
I do not care. I do not care. Obviously, everybody has their own belief.
Yeah.
Some people, believe in the chart patterns.
Double top.
Yeah. Which, I mean, look, I respect every single opinion.
Yeah.
But respectfully, again, I'm saying, if you still think chart patterns work,
you're an idiot.
I can't lie, man. Yeah.
Yeah, actually an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta look on something else.
Yeah.
It's, because it's not it.
Yeah, man.
Chart patterns, they do not work, right? Because a trading strategy, there are a lot of them. That's why I say, like, it's a matter of perspective. It's subjective.
You literally started as a guy who know absolutely nothing about trading, hop on to a trading tribe Discord server, my Discord server, 3 years ago. I started doing live sessions with the members inside the Discord server. And back then, you were still in your apprenticeship phase, right? Still learning how to trade, and you're getting better every single day by putting in the reps, right? By teaching as well. And that actually allows you to improve very, very fast, right? And one thing that you did very well was that you were able to discover the right things after trying out all the wrong things, right? After a lot of trial and error, after ICT concepts, after learning about chart patterns, you know that, okay, this shit doesn't work, right? And you also know that, like, okay, complicated strategies, they're not going to make you profitable, right? Simplicity breeds elegance. That is why you only use liquidity, imbalance, and inefficiency, right? That is very true, right? When you mention the supply and demand zones, I agree, right? Support and resistance levels, they're not going to work if there's no institutional action right there, right? Exactly. So you also mentioned that the order blocks, you cannot just rely on order blocks itself, right? You need some other confluences that come into it. You still need to look at the structure of the market, etc., etc. What advice would you give to someone who's in their 20s and they want to succeed at trading?
Okay, so someone who's in their early 20s, and it doesn't matter if it's trading or any other skill set, right? Any other, it could be e-com or whatever. One thing is that focus on the skill set. Again, we live in 2024 now. Degrees do not matter, right? It might sound harsh for someone who's right now studying very hard for their degree. At some point, I also did that. I was averaging really good at university. I was doing okay, fairly okay. But then at the same time, degrees do not matter. It's 2024, my boy. You gotta move on. So focus on the skill set more, right? No matter what skill set it is, let's say it could be trading. If you started trading, don't focus on the money. Money should be the byproduct, right? So focus more on the skill set, learning it first. Put like first 1 year, 2 years, have long-term goal. The reason why I always have long-term goal and I never have short-term goal, because when I put long-term goal, the short-term goals, those are like side missions,
Yeah.
It achieves, side quest. Like it achieves on its own. Like actually, it does. Like my biggest goal at some point when I was 15 years old was to actually come to Indonesia and live here. But then I was thinking it's not possible. How is it not possible? Because I don't think money is going to allow me that, right? My parents, my dad is from somewhere else, my mom is from someone else, and I want to live in Indonesia. That's not possible. But then I had a long-term goal. I was like, maybe in 10 years, I'm going to live in Indonesia. Look at me. I live in Indonesia in a beautiful house with a nice motorcycle. Yes, I don't own a car because I'm not into cars. It's motorcycles, right? So always set long-term and realistic goal. Don't be like, I started trading, first year I'm going to make 2 mil.
Exactly. Stupid.
That's not how it works. Long-term goal, focus on the skill set more. Show up every single day. It work for different people. They make it work differently. For me, I didn't used to have day offs. Never, no day offs. Doesn't mean that I was being harsh on myself because that's just how it worked for me. Whatever works for you, you do it that way. Doesn't mean that, okay, Andrew Tate says that you're not supposed to be like this. No, nothing. Like, just analyze yourself. What works the best for you? If you say that you work the best when you take 2 days off a week, by any means do that. But make sure the 5 days that you're working, you show up every single day, right? Not like, okay, today I showed up for 8 hours, then for 2 weeks I'm not gonna show up. That's not how it works, right? Think about it as like trending market. Expansion towards the upside, a little bit of a pullback, that's your day off, expansion again. Right? But then if your trading is just, okay, expansion because you worked for 8 hours today and then you took a break for 2 weeks, that shit is, downfall completely. What happened there?
There's going to be your equity curve as well.
Exactly. So, that's main thing. Focus on the skill set.
That's crazy. And now you are a 24-year-old trader managing 6 figures in trading capital and just built a home for your mom in Indonesia.
Yeah.
You came a long way, bro.
Really, like a long, long way. Never expected. Actually, never expected. Obviously, it was there because I never had backup. I was like, it's either trading or nothing. Actually, trading or nothing because uni wasn't doing me any good. It wasn't. I'm being very honest. If I graduated and all that, it wasn't going to do me any good. I'm like, it's either trading or nothing. But did I expect it to happen in the next 3-4 years? No. Me being able to live here in Indonesia, a beautiful city, man.
Beautiful city.
Beautiful city. And like being able to like trade full time, sit at home, not work for 12 hours a day, no. Trade 2 hours London, 2 hours New York at max. That's me saying at max 4 hours a day. And being able to like afford whatever it is actually crazy.
Financial, time, location freedom.
It's nice, actually.
It's nice, right? It's really nice. Imagine you didn't drop out. You'll be working a 9 to 5 somewhere right now.
I wouldn't be working right now.
Oh, you're still be studying for doctor.
I don't think so. I would be just jobless, doing nothing, don't know what to do with his life.
Yeah.
Right? Again, for someone who can relate to this, don't take it too deep, right? Just take actions. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. Take actions. Yeah. If you can relate to it, you just got out of uni, you graduated, but then you don't know what to do now, right? Because, you cannot find a job or maybe you're basically confused. Do something about it. Get up, take actions. That's all I'm going to say.
That's the power of consistency. Yeah, you just got to take the first step. The rest of it is history.
For sure.
Take the first trade. You're just one trade away from becoming successful.
Exactly. I used to be that kind of person as well, who was afraid of everything, right? Afraid of risking something, right? But obviously, trading, that's why trading taught me life. Because 3 years, 4 years ago, if you ask me, yo, Jason, what is money? I'll tell you, bro, I can't lie. It's a piece of paper. And all I know is that if you ask me like how people get rich, I'm like, I do not have any idea. All I know is mine comes from my dad. That's all I know. But yeah, that life doesn't have to be like that. Yeah. Like it's really, really nice to be, to be on top. It really feels really, really good. But again, at the end of the day, if I'm being honest, it is lonely. So that's why take action and climb to the top with me as well. That's all I'm gonna say. Because it's lonely.
We are waiting for them at the top. Yeah.
It is lonely. It is lonely here.
It is. You're right, though. You're right. Yeah, man. It's crazy how you pretty much build everything brick by brick. What is one last piece of advice you will give to someone who just started trading?
Again, same thing as I said with the previous one. Focus on the skill set more. So focus on the right things. Obviously, if you're not in the 1% club, try to find the right things, what to focus on. If you're already in a 1% club, obviously,
you're set. You're
congrats.
set, bro.
You know what to focus on right now because we have shared everything. Focus on that and have a firm belief. I get it. Me saying like have a firm belief is easy. easier said than done, right? But trust me on this. When I say just show up every single day, show up every single day. You see, if I see you in all of my coaching calls, I will make sure there is no way that your question's not going to get answered, right? Just show up every single day. Again, we're here to obviously, show you what's right and what's wrong, okay, based on our own experience, right? A lot of people, they might think that I'm being cocky by saying like it's a belief and all that. It's not me being cocky, but it is just me having that belief and being confident, right? Which is not, old me wasn't like this. Old me, I'll be confused with everything. With everything, I'm confused. So my biggest tip is that, again, for someone who's not in the 1% club, look for something that actually works. How to do that? Basically, there will be trial and errors, Just go through it. Go through it. So yes, it is going to be a long-term game. First 1 year, 2 years, dedicate yourself to only studying. Only studying. First 1 year, 2 years, you're only going to be studying technicals. Let's say you were consistently doing that every single day you're showing up for 1-2 years. In terms of technicals, you're going to be crazy good. And then what happens is that you're going to have to work on yourself. You need to understand about yourself, what kind of person you are. That, in my opinion, took me longer than me actually understanding technicals.
That's beautiful, right? So the market is a reflection of who you are as a person.
For sure.
And you learn that. And trading has taught us a lot of life lessons. Yeah, but you're right though, like you gotta define an edge that works for you, right? And then just go and build confidence by actually gathering data that actually prove the fact that your actually works in the market, right? So that's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time today, Jason. It was a pleasure having you, and I guess we will see them in the 1% Club.
For sure, yep.
Right?
For sure.
We are
we'll see
looking
them in the
forward
1%
to
club.
having you guys join us at the top inside the 1%
Inside
Club.
the 1% club. Yep.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, man.